Hey Beppets! Welcome to episode 3 of my back to school series. So today, so we all know online school kind of sucks. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 15 tips that have really helped me to be successful. I feel like starting off, I just need to say, to be honest, I really like online school. Well, I hated it at the end of last year, but that was because the classes weren't really my thing. But this quarter, I really like my classes. I'm really motivated to get work done, and I really love how I can structure my day how I want to. I have one class that has Zoom calls, but it only meets twice a week, so I really only have those 2 hours a week that I have to be committed to that class time. The rest of the time, I am free to do everything on my own time when I want to. We have due dates still, of course, but it's really flexible. So I actually really like that. But I know that for a lot of people, it's really hard, and it's really hard to be self-motivated. So that is why I felt like it would be good for me to share a few tips with you guys. Tip number 1, sleep schedule. So, for me personally, for everybody, it really helps if you are not only getting enough sleep, but also getting sleep at the same time every night. So, for me personally, I usually shoot for 7 hours, which I know isn't really enough. I should probably be going for 8 or 9, but I'm a busy person, and 7 is what I can do. I would suggest at least 7 for sure. And it's really helpful if you go to bed and wake up at the same time every night. Obviously, if it's a few minutes, that's not a big deal. But for the most part, you don't want to be going to bed at 10 one night and then 1 a.m. the next, because that'll really just mess up your body clock. And even if you got a sufficient amount of sleep, you're still gonna feel lethargic. You're still gonna have a hard time staying awake that day. It really helps if you are going to sleep and waking up at the same time every single day. And that makes it easier to wake up in the morning as well, because your body's used to it. I personally go to bed around 11:30 and I wake up at 6:30, which I know is really early. I prefer to get my homework done earlier in the day, and I also work out in the mornings, so it kind of works out for me. I'm an early riser. Don't feel like because I said I wake up at 6:30 that you have to. You probably don't have to. Second tip is making your bed every day. Now, I know this seems silly and why? I personally find it really helpful for a variety of reasons. Firstly, it gives me something to do that's easy, that helps my day become productive right off the bat. I wake up, I make my bed before I do anything else. Second, it really helps to make sure you don't get back into bed. Because I don't know about you guys, but I can be working on my school at my desk, and then I'm maybe I should just do it in bed because it's more comfortable there. And then I bring my school into my bed, and then I fall asleep and I don't get anything done. So those are the reasons that I really like having my bed done. It's not only a way to get your day off to a good start, but it also helps you to stay productive and not to get just leech and sit in your bed all day long. My third tip is to get some sort of exercise every day. Now, I think that that's a scary statement, and I really want to make sure you don't take it the wrong way. When I say exercise, that could be as simple as 10 minutes of a really easy exercise, a 10-minute walk. It could be something really small. I think it's really important and a really great way to start off your day. If the first thing on your agenda is to do some kind of movement, to get your body awake, to get those endorphins flowing, to get your heart rate up, it really will help you become more awake, more energized, more motivated for your whole entire day. That's something that has really helped me. When I wake up in the morning and I don't work out, not only do I just kind of feel gross, but I just feel I had something that I was supposed to do and I didn't do it, and then I'm already feeling behind on my day's work, and then it's everything builds up and I just put everything off. It just really helps me when I get that small workout in. It could be an hour, it could be 10 minutes. It doesn't really matter. It's just about doing the workout, not really about what the workout is. My fourth tip is getting dressed every day. Now, I know it seems a little silly when we're staying at home to like dirty a whole outfit when all you're doing is sitting at your computer on Zoom. But it's really helpful for like your own mental state and to get into the mood of like getting work done, to get out of your pajamas. If you sit in your pajamas all day, you're going to be in the mood to sleep all day. If you get into an outfit that you would maybe wear to school, you're going to be a little bit more motivated to work and a little bit less prone to like just fall asleep and take a nap. Tip number 5 is to put your phone away while working. I know this one's hard. I struggle with it a lot too, especially when I'm like on a boring Zoom call and I'm like, this doesn't matter. I can just sit here on my phone. But I get my work done so much faster when I put my phone away. I put it across the room on its charger, and I don't let myself, I mean, most days, it's been a little bit rough this week, but I don't let myself go on my phone until I've finished everything that I have to finish that day. And that might be really, really hard for you. You might have to put your phone downstairs. You might have to give it to your mom and say, don't give this back to me until I finish my school. You know what I mean? But it's just a huge difference, because I think we don't really realize how much we just sit on our phones. But you know, you look at your screen time at the end of the week and it's like hours and hours, and you're like, when did I do that? Like, a lot of it is actually while you're sitting and trying to do school. And you may feel like your school is taking ages, but I am willing to bet that if you put your phone away, it'll get done so much faster. My 6th tip is to keep a water bottle at your desk. I don't know about you guys, but it is very easy for me to forget to drink water. But if I have water near me, I tend to drink it because it's there. So I just drink it. And I've noticed such a big difference when I just have my water bottle at my desk, always full. As soon as it's empty, I fill it up. I drink way more water. And like, water is really, really important for everything. You could, you know, it improves headaches, it improves energy levels, it improves your skin, and like just your health overall. It's just an easy thing to do, to just keep a water bottle at your desk to stay hydrated. It's an easy fix. Question number 7 is eat food. I think a lot of us teenagers get into some pretty wacky habits with eating, and we like, you know, sometimes we just like don't eat till 2 p.m. because we're like, oh, I'm doing homework, oh, I'm busy. But it's really important to listen to your body. You won't be able to focus if you haven't eaten. All you're going to be able to think about is, oh, I'm hungry. You know, things like that. And, you know, just listen to your body, fuel it when it needs it. That'll help you be so much more productive and a lot less miserable. Tip number 8 is regular stretching / walking breaks. I don't know about you guys, but I get really, really bad lower back pain after sitting for a really long time. I have like the worst posture, and I don't think that's abnormal. And when I'm sitting at my desk for 8 hours at a time, like, it's really, really bad. So, you know, maybe like every half hour, every 30 minutes, get up, walk a few laps around your house, like stretch, do a little bit of yoga, something like nice and easy, just to like make sure your body's not stiff and sitting in the same position. It really makes a big difference. Tip number 9 is a standing desk. If back pain is something that you really, really struggle with, there is an option to get a standing desk. There's also some other options like sitting on a big inflatable exercise ball. Things like that could really help, or making sure that your desk is at the right height for your chair. You want to try and make sure you're not leaning over your work. But I personally am hoping to get a standing desk to help with my lower back. It just helps you to keep better posture because you're standing. Obviously, you can have bad posture when you're standing too, but it's supposedly it helps a lot. Tip number 10 is to keep a planner. So I talked about my bullet journal in my last video. That is one option for a planner, or you can just really go to the store and buy any planner. It just makes an astronomical difference if you have all of your homework planned out, especially in online school. If you're used to like the normal in-person school, like you get really used to your teachers like telling you, oh, you need to do this tonight, you need to do this today, this is due tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. And as soon as it's online, you're like lost, you know what I mean? Because you kind of just have to keep track of everything yourself. And I think a lot of us are used to just keeping it all in our heads and like, oh yeah, I know what's due. But it's really, really hard when it's online. It's not being told to you, it's just there and you have to find it yourself. So keeping that all written down in a planner will really help you to stay on track. Tip number 11. Tip number 11 is motivating yourself with rewards. This one is a little bit tricky because it's hard to know what a good reward is. Like, I used to reward myself like, oh, I finished with this subject for the day, I can have 5 minutes on my phone. But 5 minutes turns into 30 minutes really easily. So that one's a little bit risky. You could also say like, oh, you know, I can have a cookie or something after I finish this. I don't know, something that you think could be self-motivating, something that will encourage you to do your best, but you have to follow through with it. You can't cheat, you know, then it's like, what's the point? Tip number 12. This is one that one of my teachers told me years back. If you, for instance, if you have math homework and if you have history textbook reading homework, I highly recommend doing the reading first, because if you do the math first, you're going to get tired, it's going to take a lot of brain energy, and you'll get to the reading and you're just going to pass out. You're not going to be able to focus, you're not going to be able to absorb any of that information. But if you do the history reading first while you still have some energy, then math takes a little, like, yes, it takes brain power, but it's not like it's going to put you to sleep like reading would. So tip number 13 is have a night routine. I personally, you know, I do some bullet journaling and I journal a little bit, you know, try to have something that you keep up every single night. Skincare, like just a habit, because if you frame your day with the same things at the beginning and ends, it's a lot easier to keep things consistent, to keep a schedule going. If everything is just erratic and like different every single day, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get into the groove of things. So having a consistent night schedule where you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you know, get into bed, take a shower, whatever you have to put in there, try to keep it consistent. Tip number 14 is to put your phone away an hour before bed. Now, I know this sounds awful. Like, I know I personally feel like being on my phone helps me fall asleep because I'm like, you know, watching TikTok and I just start falling asleep and it's perfect. But you know, I'm sure, as you know, those blue lights really have an impact on how well you sleep or how easily you fall to sleep. So I like to put my phone away at 10:30, and I just use that whole next hour to journal, to read, all of those things. And that leads me into my last tip number 15, and that is to read before you go to bed. So your phone should be away, and reading really helps to tire your eyes. It'll really help you to get into a deep sleep and get the rest that your body needs. So much better than sitting on your phone and watching YouTube, which I know is like the normal thing to do, and like, why wouldn't you? But it really will make a big difference. And it also will really help you to be more consistent with your bedtimes, because it's so much easier for me to like be on my phone and be like, oh, like 5 more minutes. But if I'm reading a book, I'm getting tired, my eyes are falling asleep, I'm like, okay, yeah, 11:30, let's go to bed. These are all tips that I have found work best for me. That doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna work for you. They're things that I have found either through my own experience or like other people suggesting them. But overall, I'm hoping that you can maybe try some of these. They won't all work. You might hate them. I don't know. But it is my hope that you can take some of these and test around. The biggest thing is that you should have a consistent schedule. Obviously, some days you're gonna have a Zoom call for one class. Some days I have dance, and some days I don't. But framing your days in those morning and night routines and having some healthy habits work through them will really, really help lead you towards success. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Please come back next week for my next video in this series. And yeah, good luck with online school. If you ever need anybody to talk to, you can reach out to me. I will put my Instagram in the description box. Also, comment down below your favorite tip. Comment down below your favorite tip or a tip that I didn't mention that you have found very helpful. And also comment if you have any video requests. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. Goodbye.